you're dropping the hammer on the team. Keep dropping the hammer. Don't give them a chance to get it together. But anyway, we thank you, Nick Nurse, for that gaffe because it's funny. We were paying attention all night to the NBA Finals game to come up with some idea for a draft based upon how it all went. And that's what we settled on. Coaching decisions that backfired, Chris. So I have 6 great ones today, meaning I'm covered in the event that you take 3 of them. Go ahead. You have 2 choices, heads or tails, rig coin toss. Let's see if you make it 2 days in a row.
I feel like I got 8 great ones, so you're going down, and I'm going to go heads today.
Come on, tails.
Yeah,
give me a no,
baby.
This is really starting to upset me.
It's over. Do you want to start calling them every now and then? You tried to be nice for the first year we worked together. I know you're not nice now, so just
nice. No, I've never been nice.
Okay. I mean, come on. Do we know what this is? Do I really got to explain this? The worst coaching decisions that backfired. Let me think. Super Bowl 49. There was this really good running football team. They had a running back that had the nickname of Beastquake for 2 of the runs he'd had for his career. I mean, he was the biggest beast in the league. It was called Beast Mode, and they're on the 1 freaking yard line getting ready to win the Super Bowl with 26 seconds left and a timeout remaining, and we decide to throw a pick play that we've done a number of times throughout the year, like Bill Belichick hasn't studied film and wasn't prepared for that. Instead of giving it to Marshawn Lynch, who had just mashed it up the middle for like a 6 or 7 yard gain. One of the head scratchers of all time, took a chance away from the Seattle Seahawks to really maybe become a dynasty, and got New England back going into their second dynasty. But to me, that's just, hands down the number 1. Draft over, drop mic, see you later.
Yeah, all because you called heads and you got heads in the rigged coin toss. But obviously that's the first pick in this one. And you think about the effect that had on the Seahawks. I mean, it took them how many years to get over it? They had guys in that locker room that were never going to get over it.
No.
I remember Pete Carroll did every show that he could. He did the Today Show. And my theory at the time was he doesn't have access to his players for the next 3 months. So he's hoping that family members see him on the Today Show and say, oh, Pete feels really bad. Don't be upset, Richard Sherman. Don't be upset, Bruce Irvin. Don't be upset, Marshawn Lynch. Give the guy the benefit of the doubt. It was horrendous what they had to go through, but they brought it on themselves. Coaching decision that definitely backfired. That would have been my first pick.
Yeah.
That doesn't give me a whole lot of solace because I didn't win the coin toss. All right, my first pick, since you took the best one, this one's still pretty good. It's not from a Super Bowl, but it's an indication of why this guy may never coach in a Super Bowl. 2011, month of December, the Cowboys taking on the Arizona Cardinals. The Cowboys driving down the field in an effort to kick the game-winning field goal. And the clock is ticking, and they spike the ball, so they have 8 seconds left to kick the game-winning field goal. And as they're lining up to kick the game-winning field goal, a timeout is called. But it's not called by the Cardinals. Oh, no. This timeout was called by Jason Garrett to ice his own kicker. He iced his own kicker.
I love when you laugh like that.
The first kick was good, but you've been iced by your own coach. And then, of course, they lined up to kick it again. And the next time around, after the kicker was iced by his own coach, the second try is no good. The Cardinals would go on to win, and somehow Jason Garrett is still the coach of the Cowboys to this very day.
Oh, gosh. You know what? I totally forgot that one. That's a good call by you. What made you? Where did you find that out? Where did you look that up and find that one?
I remember it.
You just went on memory on that one?
Here's what happens.
Yeah.
Here's what happens. When I'm falling asleep, right, especially when we have a late draft like this and I haven't had a chance to really think about it, like I'm falling asleep and I try to remember these, and it's like I was falling asleep. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I got 4, I got 5, I got 6. Now the challenge is, will I remember them in the morning?
Yeah, right.
And I almost forgot them, but I remember that one because that was all at the time where there was this narrative that Jason Garrett can't macro and micro a game.
Right.
He can't do the play calling while also looking at the bigger issues like, do I go for it? Do I call a timeout to ice my kicker or don't I? And eventually he ended up giving up the play calling duties because he couldn't do both. He couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. All right, you're up, round 2.
All right, round 2. Gosh, there's some good ones out here. I don't know what to go with here, but I think I have to go with this. I mean, first of all, it's a very important play to the Simms family. I mean, maybe Phil Simms never goes to the New York Giants without this play right here. The miracle at the Meadowlands, okay? I got to take this one. It's a huge moment in the history of the NFL. But the New York Giants at Giants Stadium, 1978, up 17-12, 20 seconds left in the football game. And there's no timeouts with the Philadelphia Eagles who are on defense. Kneel on the freaking ball and call it a day. Instead, they decide to run the ball off a left tackle. Joe Pisarcik fumbles the ball, and the ball bounces around, and our man Herm Edwards picks it up, runs into the end zone. Eagles win the game in a game they had no business winning. I still don't know the story of that. I don't really get that one. How the hell do you not kneel the ball in that situation? I'll never understood it, and I don't feel like I've ever got a great explanation for it.
I'm not sure that kneeling the ball in victory formation was quite as popular then. It became very popular after that. I don't know how common it was. I have to go back and research that, but I know definitely after that happened, that's when we saw everyone, you're taking the knee. You're not taking any chances in those garbage time plays because the worst thing that can happen sometimes does happen. Well, you know what? You've inspired me to go off the board by using that word miracle, and I'm thinking of questionable coaching decisions. It just happened last year. It happened in Miami. The Miami Miracle, the questionable decision by Coach Bill Belichick to put Rob Gronkowski, limber as timber, out on the field to try to play defense. And unfortunately, he eventually had to play defense as Kenyon Drake was running toward the end zone. There was no chance that Rob Gronkowski was going to track him down. They were ready for a Hail Mary, and the Hail Mary did not happen. And after a lateral or two, there goes Drake, and there goes Gronk. Gronk's got the angle. It's like Herman Munster out there trying to play defense. Sorry, Gronk, you're the best tight end of all time. You picked the right side of the ball. Defense, not your forte. So that's a coaching decision. The idea was you want those guys there for when they throw the ball to the end zone. Bill Belichick, who rarely gets it wrong, got it wrong. They didn't throw it to the end zone. They went with the lateral fire drill, and it worked because they ended up getting isolation on Gronk. And Gronk, he had 20 yards. It was just embarrassing. It looked like me out there.
Well,
for crying out loud.
Yeah, you're right. I think the decision that's weird is I guess I wouldn't have put him back there. I understand why he was back there. He's back there for the Hail Mary, like you said. You're spot on. But they were so far away that I probably would have challenged and gone, I don't think Ryan Tannehill can reach from here, so I'm not going to play the Hail Mary game and put a defender on the field. So that would be my 2 cents. But gosh, okay, Bill Belichick's allowed to mess up one situation. He's got 9 million correct and proves it to us all the time. Man, there's so many good ones on the board here, and I'm even going to, because I'm a good guy, I'm going to throw my brain out here right on live air. I don't know if I go with the benching of Malcolm Butler here. I mean, you talk about decisions gone bad in the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl.
You going after Belichick again?
I'm thinking about it. I want to spread the wealth somewhere, so I'm also thinking about Mike Ditka giving the ball to Refrigerator Perry for a touchdown in Super Bowl 20 instead of giving it to the greatest player in franchise history and Walter Payton. That's on the list. I mean, our man Tony Dungy kicking in the opening kickoff to Devin Hester. That's on my list. I think ultimately, though, I am going to go with Ditka giving the ball to Refrigerator Perry instead of why? What's wrong with that?
Go ahead. Finish making your case. I don't want to disturb you while you're in the process of taking your hand off the checker. Go ahead.
I'm trying to spread wealth around the league here. To me, that's an ultimate blunder. I mean, it's a coaching decision gone bad.
That kept them from winning the Super Bowl.
No, it didn't. It solidified a jerk move who was obviously so enamored with the attention and, oh gosh, I got to give the ball to Refrigerator Perry, that he couldn't sit there and think, wait, the guy that has carried the franchise for the last 10 years basically here has not got a ball. We should get him a touchdown. So to me, that was like mean, bad, horrible. And I know Mike Ditka feels guilty about it to this day. So I certainly am not piling on, but I am kind of piling on. And I just think because of the magnitude of one of the greatest players of all time in Walter Payton, that's why I'm putting it there. I know it's not necessarily an X and O game decision or game-defining decision kind of that way.
I can't believe you left Malcolm Butler.
I didn't want to go it again.
The same way Bill Belichick left him on the sideline.
Yeah, I didn't want him.
But when Belichick does it, when he has those rare gaffes, and also on my list, remember when he went for it on 4th and 1 in 2009 against the Colts? They had been up 17 points in the fourth quarter and went for it 4th and 1. He pulled the Barry Switzer move, 4th and 1 in your own end, and didn't get it because he was concerned that if they punted the ball that they weren't going to be able to stop Peyton Manning anyway. But Belichick putting Malcolm Butler on the sideline in Super Bowl 52 for the entire game, having that half hour of halftime in that game and not realizing we need this guy out there to try to slow down this offense we cannot stop.
Yeah.
They could be working on number 8 this year. They could have capped 3 in a row.
Yes.
If Belichick, and I don't care what it was. I don't care what he did. You have legacies on the line here, man, and you don't put Malcolm Butler in the game. And look, here's the thing. It's not about the guy's ability because close Belichick friend Mike Vrabel gave Malcolm Butler a pile of money to join the Titans last year. So thank you for leaving that one on the board because who cares? The Bears still won the Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, it was a slap in the face of Walter Payton, but it's not a coaching decision that backfires in the sense that you lose the game. Bill Belichick, there's that arrogance that you see from time to time. He thought they'd win the game without Malcolm Butler. He thought he was going to send a message. He sent the message, but he ended up not winning the game.
Yeah, he's a rule follower.
Thank you.
It's a way
Thank you.
I know. I wanted to spread the wealth. I didn't want to have New England be half the draft.
Listen, who cares? It fits the theme of the day. Coaching decisions that backfired. You made a decision that backfired, and I overcame the fact that the rigged coin toss gave you the clear-cut number 1.
Well, let me ask you this.
Were
you didn't even think of Malcolm Butler either. I think I gave that to you. I don't think it was on your list because
That's why when the other guy still has picks left, you don't meander and muse about all the things you could choose from. You do that after.
Okay, we're on TV. We might not get to revisit it.
So I that out? Well, you know what? Here's what we're going to do.
Right.
All the ones that we didn't pick, we can talk about in the next segment. And that's when you can tell me some other good ideas that maybe I would have used.
Good.
But no, I hadn't thought of Malcolm Butler, but it doesn't matter. I picked Malcolm Butler. All right, quick recap of the draft of the coaching decisions. All time that backfired. Chris Simms won the first pick in the rigged coin toss. Pete Carroll throwing the ball at the goal line in Super Bowl 49. That's clearly the top pick. The Miracle at the Meadowlands, that was a good pull by you. Mike Ditka gives the ball to Refrigerator Perry in Super Bowl 20. That didn't backfire. They still won the game. That's
backfired.
Where you blew the draft.
We're still calling Mike Ditka a jerk for doing it.
I don't care.
Everybody
He's a jerk
does.
for a lot of reasons.
Well,
at least that Ditka was.
I
like Mike Ditka 2019. Mike Ditka 1985 was a jerk.
Right.
Cowboys icing their... Jason, can I finish the recap, please?
No.
Jason Garrett icing his own kicker was my first pick. Then the Miami Miracle with Rob Gronkowski playing defense for the Patriots. And then Malcolm Butler not playing defense for the Patriots in Super Bowl 52. I can't believe I won this one, Chris. And you gave me...
You didn't win anything.
Your executive decision backfired because you started meandering about all the guys you could pick, and you forgot that I still had a pick.
No,
so
I did not forget. I did not care. I was trying to have a conversation live on air that was going on in my own brain, okay? And I try to spread the wealth in these drafts. I didn't want to see a Patriot logo on there at 4 out of the 6 things.
Who cares?
I care. I care. I want to give all the cities love, all the fans love, okay? That's why I did it.
It's not love.
It's
not love.
I told you, I almost picked Tony Dungy kicking the ball to Devin Hester to start that Super Bowl.
They won.
It still backfired. It was the greatest kick returner ever on the first play of the Super Bowl.
And he tells the story that they were determined to not kick to Devin Hester. And then the night before, he said, we can't do it this way. We're kicking to him.
Right.
Yeah.
So it backfired, even though I know they won, but that decision backfired. We were just talking about Joe Gibbs on one of the pods. Joe Gibbs throwing that screen pass at the end of the half when they're playing the Raiders in the Super Bowl.
Squirek.
Right. They ran the play early on in the season in their first matchup and went for like a 70-yard touchdown. They did it again. It gets intercepted, and they go into the half 21-3. I thought about that. And then Red Right 88, right? Ryan Sipe throwing that interception when they were in field goal position, 1980 divisional playoff or 1971 divisional playoff game against the Raiders, right? Was it 71? I got
80.
80. I got my years
80.
all jumbled up. Right.
That's a huge gap there.
That was
Is it
another good
71
one.
or is it 80?
I got too many things I read. I said 80 at first, then I went to 71, then I went to 80. That one, and Wade Phillips benching Doug Flutie for Doug Johnson. That was another one that was on my list.
How about Marty Morningweg when he was the coach of the Lions in 2002, winning the toss in overtime and choosing to kick?
Oh, gosh.
That backfired. And this one really wasn't a coaching decision per se, just more coaching incompetence, but it deserves to be mentioned.
Right.
The 2009 NFC Championship game, the Vikings driving for the win in regulation before Brett Favre threw the ball across his body and had it picked off by Tracy Porter. Brad Childress coming out of a timeout had 12 guys in the huddle, and they got flagged for 5 yards, pushing them out, or at least on the fringes of field goal range, and killing that drive before the desperation throw by Favre that sent the game to overtime, and the Saints won. So thanks for nothing there, Chili.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.